Broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Here's your host, Andrew Romanella.
Okay? Like, just get the hell out of here. Nobody cares what you think if you're not a Mets fan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of The Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube and X. I'm your host, Andrew Romanella. I got you for the next 15 or 20 minutes on this Wednesday. We call that Update here on The Rome Show, so we give you a ton of Hump Day headlines. We'll be breaking down Major League Baseball, NFL, NCAA rule changes on the transfer portal, NASCAR playoffs, early betting bananas, all of the things that you would want to get you through the hump day of your week. We are broadcasting live on the Romanellas on YouTube. That's the Romanellas on YouTube. Head to youtube.com/the Romanellas and hit subscribe, or on Twitter X, as we call it on the Rome Show. Head to Twitter X and subscribe to the Rome Show 1, or follow whatever terminology you'd like to use, so you don't miss a live Rome Show daily, Monday through Friday, sometime between 7 and 7:10. Finally, a lot of positivity for the show today. I think, I could be wrong though, so if I am wrong, someone let me know. I think we're broadcasting live on Instagram today. It looks like we're broadcasting live on Instagram today, but we'll find out post-show if I was truly right about that or not. Just so many ways to get the Rome Show, and if any of those don't work, the Rome Show podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Yesterday, Aaron Judge, New York Yankee, became the 5th greatest Yankee of all time in terms of home runs hit, when he passed Yogi Berra for 5th all-time on the New York Yankees home run list. Aaron Judge now has 359 career home runs for the New York Yankees. I thought we could play a little bit of a game here, okay? If you want to comment on the YouTube or comment on the Instagram, either one, can you name the 4 players ahead of Aaron Judge on the Yankees all-time home run list? Okay, there are 4 players ahead of Aaron Judge that I'd love to know if someone out there knows who the 4 ahead of him are. If you also, by the way, if you can write in the 4 Yankees that are the tops in Yankee history in home runs hit, and you could give it to me in the order with which they are, something free from the Rome Show is coming back to your way. That's a fact. Okay, so you have the Rome Show 1 on Twitter X and on Instagram. You can go comment there. You got the youtube.com/the Romanellas, and you can go comment there. You got the rest of the show. We'll unveil the top 4 home run hitters in Yankees history at the end of this contest. Just know, if you have an inkling of baseball knowledge inside of your body, you should know these 4 players. At least number 1. I mean, heck, if you have any idea of baseball history, number 1 on the Yankees all-time home run list should be super easy. But congratulations to Aaron Judge on his 359th home run. Aaron Judge is, there's no question about this, there's no argument, there's no debate, Aaron Judge is one of the best New York Yankees of all time. That number 99 jersey will be retired into the famous Mount Rushmore of New York Yankee lore, with some numbers are retired twice. That's how good this franchise has been. That's how good some of those players has been. And Aaron Judge, this is just another step towards that, towards him being in that Monument Park It's one step closer to that for Aaron Judge. Before we move forward, just so you were wondering, right now, Aaron Judge is hitting 323. He's got 43 bombs on the year. That's good for 4th in the league, 1st in batting average. He's 7th in RBIs with 97. His OPS is 1.105, 1st in the league. His on-base percentage is 1st in the league at 440, and his slugging percentage is 1st in the league at 666. Here's the knock on Aaron Judge, though. And if you look at his postseason statistics, that's where people are going to really bring him down in terms of greatest Yankee of all time, in terms of greatest player of all time, and in terms of general greatness as a baseball player. People are going to knock him down a peg or two because of his postseason statistics. He's been in 58 games in his postseason career, nearly 220 at-bats. He's collected 45 hits and 16 home runs with 34 RBIs. The problem there is he's hitting 205. So it's very pedestrian numbers. And I don't have this specific number in front of me, which would be the strikeouts, but I do know, having watched Aaron Judge's entire career, okay, I believe he made his MLB debut a year or two after I graduated college. I graduated college in 2013. Okay. So I think he made his MLB debut in like 2015. So I've watched the entirety of his career. My whole coaching career has been Aaron Judge's entire major league professional career. And if you go back on the postseasons, it's that it was so drastic, right? Like, he's a career 292 hitter. He's hitting over 300 this year. He did it last year. He's done it a few years. So when you go to the postseason and you hit 200, though you might have 16 home runs in 58 games, though you might have 34 RBIs in 58 games and 45 hits in 58 games, which on paper and saying out loud doesn't seem terrible when you're Aaron Judge and there's that much riding on you, A, but B, you're that good. Like, the drop-off for Andrew Romanella hitting 250 in the regular season and hitting 205 in the postseason doesn't blow people's minds, doesn't make people believe you can't or I can't or that person can't perform in the postseason. They've been a 250 hitter all year. Not surprising. But when you go from a 300-plus hitter to a 200 hitter and you drop that thing 100 points, even though your production for, I don't know, 80% of other human beings in the world would be fantastic, for Aaron Judge, it isn't. And therefore, without a welcome to football season, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Without a World Series ring and without postseason success from his own personal statistics standpoint, people are going to hold against Aaron Judge how great they think he is comparative to others when it comes down to the history of Major League Baseball. So I think he's one of the greatest of all time. I already am putting him in my New York Yankees Monument Park. Number 99 is up there. You're not on a list of Yogi Berra and the 4 other names that I wonder if you know, and if you do, comment on the Instagram, comment on the YouTube, or comment on the Twitter X, the 4 top home run hitting Yankees of all time. And if you can put them in their specific order, right before Aaron Judge at number 5, he passed Yogi Berra last night with 359, then I will send you something for free from the Rome Show, most likely a Rome Show Football Club hoodie. Speaking of Yogi Berra, by the way, quick little tangent. On September 21st, at Montclair State University, they are attempting the largest game of catch, Guinness Book of World Record, largest game of catch, in honor of Yogi Berra's 100th birthday. For those that don't know, the Yogi Berra Museum exists down the first base line behind the bleachers at Montclair State University at, you guessed it, Yogi Berra Stadium, September 21st, 9 a.m. Come out to Yogi's Big Catch and be a part of a Guinness Book of World Record for the largest game of catch. I'll be there. I think my team will be there as well, and I would love for you to be there with us. Let's continue on here, the Rome Show on a Wednesday. We got our headlines for you, and we go to the American League because I don't know what's going on in baseball. On one side of the coin, which would be the American League, I feel like teams are just winning up and down wazoo, okay? I did some statistics last night. They could be slightly off, but they're going to give you a pretty good picture of what the American League wild card race is looking like right now. So it starts with the Yankees at 80-64. Then it's the Red Sox at 81-65. Then it's the Mariners at 77-68. Then it's the Rangers at 76-70, 1.5 games out of the third wild card spot. And then it's the Guardians at 74-70, 2.5 out of that wild card spot. Side note, tangent. It's wild that I still want to call the Cleveland Guardians the Cleveland, you know what I'm talking about. Is that wild? I mean, it's like 5-6 years later, and I still want to call them the Cleveland blank instead of the Cleveland Guardians. I digress. So I put the numbers together for these 5 teams, and they are playing some really good baseball right now. Besides the fact that 4 of them are on a 3-game or more winning streak right now. These teams are combined 28-22 in the last 10 days. So though Texas, winners of 3 straight and 7 of their last 10, and though Cleveland, winners of 5 straight and 6 of their last 10, because they didn't play too good going into that winning streak, are playing so well, the other 3 teams ahead of them are also playing really good baseball. And it's been streaky because on the flip side of this thing, for your other Major League Baseball wild card headline, the National League's the opposite. It's like teams just want to lose everywhere. The Mets are terrible. And this is the 3rd time I've said this year. They've lost 4 straight again, and they've only won 3 games in their last 10. And they are not playing good baseball. And this comes off of a streak where we thought we found it again. Nope, now we're back. Now our offense can't hit again. But that's not just the Mets. So many teams in Major League Baseball, if you look at their 150 games to this point, 145 games to this point, have been so streaky. And on a Rome show some 2 months ago, get the Rome Show podcast wherever you listen to podcasts if you want to read this point. On a Rome show a few months ago, I talked about how this is one of the best Major League Baseball seasons in a long time because there's so much parity in the game. Well, look at the wild card races right now. Like, I'm listening to them say last night when I'm listening to the radio on the way home from work, the Mets' chances to make the playoffs are whatever percentage it is. Okay, I got it right here. The New York Mets make playoff percentage chances is 96.5%. Well, when you look at the actual standings right now in the wild card, they are only 2 games up on the Giants, who over the course of the last 3 weeks have been playing significantly better, significantly more consistent baseball than the New York Metropolitans. So can I really believe that they have a 96.5% chance to make the playoffs after they are the most roller coaster of a roller coaster ride team? But then on the flip side, can I believe the San Francisco Giants are going to be good enough to keep making up this gap? Because look at this type of season they've gone through. Arguably, one of the top 6 teams in the league, not just the National League, in the league for the first 35 games of the year. Then they trade for Rafael Devers, and they go into the tank. And you don't even think they're going to be in this moment at this moment. And now here they are. What about the Reds? Man, talk about the depiction of a 500 season. But that's been everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Outside, I think the Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago Cubs, maybe the Seattle Mariners. You know, most teams have had these dips, these peaks and these valleys, and they're so extreme, and you can't really get a read on who's going to take this thing and run. And so we got like 3 weeks left in this thing. I don't know. Are the Mets in? Are the Giants in? Hell, could the San Diego Padres, who have only won 4 games in their last 11, could they all of a sudden drop so poorly that they're not even in? There's so much possibility right now in baseball, and it's a lot of fun. And on one side of the coin, teams can't lose. And on the other side of the coin, teams can only lose. So it's a lot of fun. And I know we get into this moment of football, and people start forgetting that baseball's even on television. This is the time, people. This is the time to watch Major League Baseball. July, August, sometimes those are the times not to. Okay? Though there are breadcrumbs in those moments of July and August that can tell us what's going on right now with our team. There are breadcrumbs. These teams left us clues as to what it would look like going down the stretch, and now we're living that out. And it's a lot of drama, and it's going to be fun. About 15 games left in Major League Baseball. The Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube, the Romanellas, and Twitter X, the Rome Show 1. We got a trivia question out for the people right now. You can comment live on YouTube. You can comment live on Twitter X, or you can comment live on Instagram. Yeah, you heard that right. Coach Romo 24. Actually, no, I think it's the Rome Show 1 on Instagram. Either way, we're broadcasting live on Instagram for the first time. Really cool. Trying some stuff out here with the show. Want to get it to as many people as possible. 2 more Hump Day headlines for the people for Curse Smith.
Hump Day.
Yes, the Giants sticking with Russell Wilson as their quarterback. I know that's going to piss a lot of people off. Listen, okay, I understand. And I came on this airwaves a few weeks ago, the Rome Show podcast. We ever listen to podcasts if you want to hear this. And I talked about how Jackson Dart is the franchise quarterback for the New York Football Giants. Talk about how Jackson Dart will be the starter for the New York Football Giants in 2035 because they found him. This is great. But at the same time, one terrible game by the New York Giants, one 231 passing yard, 0 TD day from Russell Wilson doesn't automatically mean that we need to burn all the boats, throw Russell Wilson overboard, and pretend like this was the dumbest thing we've ever done. That's not the plan. First off, Giants fans, you were never winning a Super Bowl this year, so get that out of your heads. Secondly, Giants fans, you might not have ever been making the playoffs this year, so get that out of your head. Everything is better than whatever went on last year. And though it started very similarly, yes, how many times have we seen in the history of this league that week 1 is such a liar? That week 1 is not the true depiction of what your football team is. It's just the truth. Gosh, I'm over here praying that's the Miami Dolphins. Please, gosh, let it be that the Dolphins played some voodoo on us week 1 and they aren't that bad. But I think it would be very stupid of Brian Daboll and the New York Football Giants coaching staff to go into week 2 and say, all right, we're good. Like, yes, eventually you're going to be good on Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson knows that. Like, there's no question about whether or not Jackson Dart's going to play quarterback for the New York Football Giants. There could be question on if it's in this 18-game season or 18-week season or if it's in next year, but he's going to be the quarterback. So to instantaneously flip from week 1 to, all right, this is good. Let's see what can happen here. Who knows? Maybe we could do something with Russell. The offense looked pretty good in the preseason. I feel really good about the Giants too. It's out. It's over. It's done. Cut Russell Wilson. Honestly, you know what? Make Jameis the best. Like, chill. You're not making the playoffs probably. You're probably not winning more than maybe 7 games. It's the hardest schedule in the league, and you have all of these questions everywhere. It's no surprise. We shouldn't be surprised. Okay, now, if in week 3 or 4, you're looking at 0-3 or 0-4, you've scored 1 touchdown in 4 weeks, yeah, clear and obvious, make a change. But week 1 is a glorified 4th preseason game for majority of this league. And you cannot make final decisions on teams, on players after week 1. You can't do it because there's not enough known. So hold off, Giants fans, before you just start clamoring for Jackson Dart. It's going to happen. Don't rush it because that could be the best thing for the kid. Finally, Jalen Carter was spitting on Dak Prescott in Thursday Night Football last week. Just want to let you know the NFL has decided not to suspend Jalen Carter. Why? Because he was ejected before the game started. So the NFL is saying that is suspension enough, which I kind of agree with, but I don't feel like debating it much deeper here. I do believe there was consequence. I do believe there was a fine. I saw this happen in a Florida football Gators game as well. I can't handle this stuff. Like, it's loser behavior to spit on another human being. It is you're a bad guy type behavior to spit on another human being. So I got an idea, football humans, that think it's a good idea to try and intimidate somebody by spitting in their face. Let's just stop that behavior now. Okay? Let's just chill. Okay? Find other ways to talk BS to each other or whatever the case is. But spitting on another person, there's no place in the world for that, let alone football. Okay? So I cannot believe that happened one time in a weekend, let alone twice. But the NFL not suspending Jalen Carter for any further games, considering game one, he missed the entirety of it, and it was the full suspension. All right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we got a quick commercial break coming up here for the people. When we come back, we're going to finish with some early banana trends in the National Football League. I know there's some people out there that like to get in on the banana apps early so they can give themselves the best lines possible. I got a few numbers for the people here that I think you're gonna wanna hear. So stick with us after this unsponsored commercial break, which could be sponsored by you. Reach out to the Romanellas on YouTube, the Rome Show 1 on Twitter X, on Instagram, all of those jazzy things. And why don't you sponsor this next commercial from the Rome Show? Back after this. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome back into the Rome Show. Broadcasting live on YouTube, the Romanellas, and Twitter X, the Rome Show 1. Hope you're following. Hope you're subscribed. I'll tell you what, this Instagram thing clearly works out for us because we got a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, you heard that right. We got a winner. Man, this is exciting. I'm amped right now. I hope you can tell. So the question was at the early part of the show, okay, Aaron Judge passed Yogi Berra for 5th all time on the Yankees home run list all time with 359. So I asked, who knows the top 4 names on the list ahead of Aaron Judge? And if you can put those names in order of 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 before Aaron Judge, you would win something for free from the Rome Show. And yes, we have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. I really love the fact that this is broadcasting live on the Instagram because now we can get more interaction from the people. So Nick_Payne29 got it right with the 4 people. Okay, so the 4 names on the list are, yes, Babe Ruth. I think you expected that. Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, and Lou Gehrig. However, our winner of the free Rome Show apparel, I'll have C Court 30 reach out to the Rome Show 1 on Instagram or Twitter X. C Court 30, congratulations. He got it right. Babe Ruth is number 1 at 659. Mickey Mantle, number 2 at 536. Lou Gehrig, number 3 at 493. And Joe DiMaggio will be passed by Aaron Judge during the 2025 season for 4th all time. Joe DiMaggio, 361 total homers for 4th all time on the Yankees list. Congratulations to C Court 30. I have a feeling I know that guy. Exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. C Court 30 got himself something free, Rome Show. You got to tune in every day. You have no idea what we're doing on this show. It could go 99 different ways, and some days we give stuff away. And today, C Court 30 is a winner. Fire stuff. Let's finish this show, ladies and gentlemen, with some early banana favorites for the people coming up this weekend in the National Football League. So I'm going to pop this up here, courtesy of our friends at thespread.com. Okay. So right now, the numbers you're looking up at the screen are the top, I guess we could put it, bananas being put on this team, for lack of better English from Andrew right now. So the Minnesota Vikings at 78% money from the public being put on them to win this weekend. Now that's an important thing to think about, because the Minnesota Vikings this weekend, and once my internet loads, we got a lot going on here on the Rome Show. Okay. The Minnesota Vikings this weekend are taking on the Falcons at home, and they're favored by 4.5. So that means 78% of the betting public believes that the Minnesota Vikings are going to win by the 4.5 or more against Atlanta at home. That's a large number. Well, if you go further down the list, this can give you an idea of what you're looking to do when it comes to your bananas this weekend. Here's what I see. Okay, I take a look at where the public is putting their bananas. Okay, and so let's take the example of the Tennessee Titans at 67%. So the Titans, presumably supposed to be the worst team in the league this year, are at home, and they are underdogs by 5.5 against the Rams. So a lot of the public believes that at home, the Titans will be able to cover that plus 5.5 against the Rams. Doesn't mean they believe the Titans are going to win. It just means they believe the Titans are going to cover that 5.5. Why, might you ask? Well, if you go to last week's game, the Titans went on the road to Denver, presumably a top 4 team in the AFC, and only lost by 8 points, covering the 8. Well, it depends on where you had it. Some of it had it at 6.5. I think it opened at 8.5. It was in that number, but came close to, if not beating the spread on some sites in that game. So now it gives the betting public a confidence and a belief that at home, with a line of 5.5, when the Rams barely squeaked by 14-9 last week, you put all those things together, and the public says, I want the Titans. Well, for Andrew, and again, this is just my theory, my thought process, the way I go about things. For Andrew, I see that 67%, and I'm like, well, what's the 33% thinking? And I think the 33% thinking, which is the area I want to be in, it's coming back. Why are the Rams favored in this game on the road going across the country? Because the Titans are that bad. Why does the betting public want the Titans? Because what their eyes showed them last week. Okay. So for me, I take these numbers and I like to do a little bit of research as to why, what's going on, what's the thought process here. And so that makes sense. If you look at another one that comes up on your sheet here, let's take the Kansas City Chiefs at 74%. Chiefs are coming off a loss across the country, and now they are going to play the defending Super Bowl champion against themselves, Philadelphia Eagles, at home. And the Eagles are favored by 1.5. To me, the Eagles should be favored by 1.5. To me, I want to take the Eagles in this game because of the two teams, I think the Eagles are way better than the Chiefs this year. And not just because of what happened on week 1. But the Chiefs are at home. People believe in the Chiefs. They're defending Super Bowl champions. It's hard to put your bananas against them. So the betting public has them at nearly 75%. So some interesting numbers here that I wanted to give to the people because I like looking at these numbers. Again, the website is thespread.com. All right. It's a free website that you can go to. Shout out to The Spread. Hopefully they're listening to the Rome Show here and we can connect. But if you head to thespread.com, and there's way more on here. Like you can go into each game and it'll show you where the game opened up, like the line. Like, for example, the Commanders at the Packers on Thursday night opened up at Commanders plus 2.5. Now it's Commanders plus 3.5. Okay. So the Commanders are said by Vegas to be losing by more than a field goal on the road at Green Bay tomorrow night. And that's already changed so much in 3 days. So the Spread's awesome because it'll tell you everything. Spread.com. And we'll keep popping these up every Wednesday. We'll give you our really really early Wednesday reads on it, but I think that there's a lot of good value there. Like, think about it. If you took the Commanders when it opened at +2.5, okay, and that line just moved to +3.5. Well, if you had it at +2.5 and you took that and the Commanders, they lose by a field goal, okay, what the heck? You're like, dang. But if you waited on that one and you get them at +3.5 and it's a game-winning kick by the Packers to win by 3, well, look at that, right? So, it just changes so much that you have to keep looking at what's going on, and the spread.com does a great job of doing that for you. Rocky Romanella is going to join us tomorrow to talk NASCAR playoffs and some other things. The NHL is getting back in season. Their training camps start. Hockey with Rocky getting set to come back on the Rome Show. So tomorrow, Rocky will join us. Denny Hamlin won the race number 2 in the NASCAR Cup Series playoff last weekend. So we're going to have to dissect that with Rocky, plus get an idea of what it's looking like in the National Hockey League, what we need to prepare for, and when that's going to jump off, and so much more. So the Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube and Twitter X. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope the Instagram masses enjoyed the new avenue. Thank you to C Court 30 and Nick_Payne29 for their write-ins and enjoying some fun trivia for the people. Let's pop this music on and let's get you have a fantastic day. I will be back tomorrow morning sometime between 7 and 7:10. We'll find out. Just subscribe so you can see the show. Have an electric Wednesday. This is Andrew Romanella for the Rome Show saying peace.
Thank you for listening.